Getting across the lake was an adventure, to say the least. By ferry to and from Plattsburgh wasn't an option, and those who tried to drive had to deal with a pair of tractor-trailer crashes. Local 22's Jolie Sherman reports from Grand Isle County on all of the problems.
Strong winds are significantly impacting travel to ferries and trucks. And here on Route 2, heading into South Hero, the wind caused this tractor trailer behind me to crash, and it's cutting off traffic. Now, Sergeant Allen with the Grand Isle County Sheriff's Department says because the trailer was empty, it was no match for these strong, gusty winds. And that wasn't the only big rig crash. There was a similar scene Wednesday morning, shutting down the Rouse's Point Bridge. Heavy winds caused an empty tractor trailer to crash in Alburgh, cutting off traffic on U.S. Route 2 on both sides. And traffic was already halted on the Grand Isle Ferry. Winds and ice meant no service between Grand Isle and Plattsburgh.
Colchester Reef has been showing pretty constant 30-mile-an-hour, 30-knot winds, gusting as high as 38, 40. And right now there's no indication it's going to let up for a while.
Captain Dan Landry says he expects conditions to improve by the evening. Rarely does the ferry need to halt operations, but Wednesday marked the second shutdown this winter. And for one driver, that meant significant delays and a possible overnight stay.
I'm supposed to be in Saratoga Springs, New York at 2 o'clock to reload, but with this delay, that's not going to happen. It's the first time I've ever seen this being shut down.
From the captain's quarters, Landry showed me what they're looking at.
So right now we have all this ice, half a mile of ice that is accumulating on the northern edge, and it's in front of the Cumberland Head ferry slip.
And Landry says because it's 4 to 6 feet deep, the ferries can't cross, but he's hoping to be back up and running soon. Jolie Sherman, Local 22 News.
Jolie, thank you. Now, the ferry is expected to be closed for some time still to go. Local 22's Devin Bates just heard from the latest from the operations manager of the Lake Champlain Ferry. Devin joins us now on the Vermont side. Devin, what can you tell us?
Well, Lauren, any further update on a possible reopening of the Lake Champlain Ferry here at Grand Isle tonight won't arrive until 9 p.m. And I'm getting word that that's because these sustained wind speeds that we've been seeing all afternoon aren't expected to really die down for at least a few more hours. You can kind of get a sense here on what we're dealing with just looking around. Empty here. Of course, I saw several people turned around, but other than that, it seems like the word has largely gotten out that this ferry is shut down, which Jolie alluded to it. A pretty rare occasion for the ferry to shut down like this due to wind speeds. We saw this happen last week, but prior to that, you have to go back to February 2019 and then February 2016 to find other occasions in which this ferry has been shut down, usually operating 24 hours here and, as anybody knows, busy most of the time. Here's Operations Manager Heather Stewart explaining a little bit more about the uniqueness of this weather and the shutdown.
We haven't had them stacked back to back like this. The sustained winds on Lake Champlain right now are over 35 miles an hour, and that's playing a big role. The strong southerly wind is packing the ice into Cumberland Head.
And we'll be back here later on tonight on Local 44 News at 10 and Local 22 News at 11, taking a look at what things look like here. Will there be a big line of cars that have been waiting to get across all day? We'll have to wait and see, and we'll also have to wait and see if the ferry is even open by then and if those wind speeds die down as predicted. But for right now, live from a quiet ferry dock, Devin Bates, Local 22 News.